The headlines scream from every screen. Paris is burning, not literally, but the smoke from tear gas and burning barricades tells a story of deep national anger. Tonight, on the Champs-Élysées, the air is thick with tension. Thousands of protesters, some in yellow vests, clash with riot police. Sirens wail, the iconic cobblestone streets are littered with debris, a battlefield between citizens and their government. This isn't just a protest, it's a raw expression of fear and frustration from a nation on the edge. We see it in the faces of the people, the retired worker with a threatened pension, the young nurse in an underfunded hospital. They are not just statistics. Their anger is real, their sense of betrayal, deep. The social contract, the foundation of modern France, feels broken. The government seems paralyzed, unable to act without triggering more rage. Police in riot gear form tight lines, their shields reflecting the flames of makeshift bonfires, a symbol of the deep divide. Every push, every canister of tear gas, only deepens the resentment. The protesters are a fractured collection of citizens, united by a desperate demand to be heard. They feel the system is rigged against them, and they're ready to tear it down. This is more than another demonstration. It's a symptom of a deeper illness. France is caught in a vice, a mountain of public debt on one side, a population refusing austerity on the other. The government is trapped, searching for a solution that doesn't exist. Tonight's chaos is a stark warning. France faces a crisis of identity, finance, and faith in its future. The world is watching. The stakes could not be higher. Let's talk numbers. France's national debt has surpassed 3 trillion euros, over 110% of its GDP. Imagine earning $100,000 a year but owing more than that on your credit cards, with the balance growing every month. That's France. The government spends far more than it collects, piling up deficits and debt. This isn't just an economist's problem. Tens of billions go to interest payments, money that can't fund teachers, hospitals, or infrastructure. Public services are being starved. Class sizes grow. Hospital waits lengthen, the safety net phrase. To control debt, taxes rise, workers take home less, businesses struggle, and young people see fewer opportunities. If global markets lose faith in France's ability to pay, the euro could be threatened and savings could evaporate. The most frightening part? The debt is growing faster every year. More debt means higher interest payments, which means bigger deficits. A vicious cycle. Breaking out of it requires tough, unpopular choices, but every year of inaction makes the pain worse. The numbers are a ticking time bomb. The clock is getting louder. France is running out of time. The debt spiral threatens everyone. The choices are getting harder. The future of the French social model hangs in the balance. The world is watching. The stakes are enormous. Inside the Élysée Palace, the crisis is political paralysis. The president lacks a strong majority. Every reform, pensions, labor, spending, hits a wall of opposition. Powerful unions, entrenched interests, and a polarized public make consensus nearly impossible. Public trust in leaders is collapsing. Promises of reform sound like empty words. When the government says cuts are needed, few believe them. Many see it as an attack on cherished protections. Sometimes the government uses Article 49.3 to force laws through without a vote, fueling anger and protests. It's a short-term fix that deepens the legitimacy crisis. For decades, politicians expanded benefits without securing the funds. Now, the bill is due. Any leader who proposes real cuts risks being voted out. The result? Paralysis. The system is stuck, and the crisis is escalating. France is running out of time to act. To understand today's crisis, look back. After World War II, France built a generous welfare state, social security, healthcare, pensions. For decades, the model worked. The economy boomed, the state protected its people, and a high standard of living became the norm. This system became part of French identity, a promise of security from cradle to grave. But the world changed. The oil shocks of the 1970s ended easy growth. Globalization and technology transformed industries. France's economy slowed, but social spending didn't. The government kept borrowing to pay for promises. What began as a small gap between income and spending grew, decade after decade. Now, France has a 21st century economy but a 20th century welfare state it can't afford. The system, designed for rapid growth and a young population, is buckling under slower growth and an aging society. The promises of the post-war era have become unsustainable. Decades of avoiding reality have led to today's crisis. France is caught between its cherished past and harsh economic realities. The model that once defined the nation now threatens to bankrupt it. Change is no longer a choice, it's a necessity. Nowhere is the crisis sharper than in pensions. France's system is among the world's most generous. Early retirement, comfortable benefits. This right is sacred to many, a core part of French life. But demographics have changed. People live longer, birth rates have fallen. Fewer workers support more retirees. The math no longer works. The system is structurally unbalanced and heading for collapse. Every attempt at reform, raising the retirement age, changing benefits, triggers mass protests and strikes. For protesters, it's a moral battle. They feel they've earned their retirement and refuse to pay for government mismanagement. The result, stalemate. The reforms needed are politically toxic. Raising the retirement age is the most direct fix, but also the most unpopular. Other options, cutting benefits, raising contributions, are just as hard. The government knows the system is a ticking time bomb, but any move risks a political explosion. The pension crisis is a perfect storm: unsustainable finances, demographic reality, and fierce resistance. The clock is ticking. The stakes are generational. France must choose reform or collapse. This isn't just France's problem, it's Europe's. France is the Eurozone's second-largest economy. Its stability is critical to the EU and global markets. If France spirals, the shockwaves will be felt everywhere, far worse than the Greek crisis. The euro binds Europe together. A French debt crisis could threaten the currency itself. Investors would demand higher rates from France and other indebted countries, risking a chain reaction. The survival of the euro would be in question. France's bonds are held worldwide. A crisis would cause global losses and market chaos. Political fallout could fuel extremism and even a French exit from the EU, potentially unraveling decades of European unity. That's why leaders in Paris, Brussels, Berlin, and Washington are watching anxiously. France is too big to fail. The world can't afford a French collapse. France's crisis is severe, but not unique. Other developed nations, Italy, Japan, the US, face massive debts and aging populations. Japan's debt is even higher, but it owes most of it to its own citizens. The US controls the world's reserve currency. France, by contrast, relies on foreign investors and is bound by Eurozone rules. It can't print its own money. What makes France different is the intensity of its social resistance to reform. In other countries, gradual changes are possible. In France, mass protest and union power make reform politically explosive. The French social model is rigid, and the population's attachment to it is deeply ideological. High debt, reliance on foreign capital, and fierce resistance to change make France a global focal point. France is a canary in the coal mine for the developed world. The path it takes will offer lessons and warnings for others. The world is watching to see if reform is possible or if crisis is inevitable. France stands at a crossroads with three possible paths. The first, keep borrowing, avoid tough choices, and hope for a miracle. This only makes the problem worse and risks a sudden crisis. The second, painful reform, raise the retirement age, cut spending, overhaul labor laws. This is politically explosive but could restore stability. The third, do nothing, and face a full-blown financial crisis when markets lose faith. The first path is a gamble that delays the inevitable. The second is short-term pain for long-term gain, but requires rare political courage. The third is the nightmare scenario: national humiliation, international bailout, and social chaos. Most economists say reform is the only real solution. But reform means redefining the social contract and accepting sacrifice. The choice is stark: act now, or be forced to act later under far worse conditions. France's future, and Europe's, hangs in the balance. The world is watching. The stakes are generational. The time for easy answers is over. The next move will define a nation. The darkest path is a full-blown financial crisis, when markets lose faith and France can't borrow. The government would be unable to pay salaries or pensions and would need a humiliating international bailout. Lenders would demand deep, immediate cuts, far harsher than anything proposed so far. Living standards would fall, and social unrest could explode. Mainstream politics could collapse, replaced by extremism. This is the nightmare scenario leaders are desperate to avoid. Can France's political system produce a leader with the courage to act? Can the people accept sacrifice? The answers will define France's future, and Europe's. The world is watching a great nation struggle with its identity and its future. The outcome is uncertain, but the stakes could not be higher.